Going to start the meeting now. All right, so we're going to open the Environmental Stewardship Committee for June 16th at 7 p.m. We are meeting in the first floor small conference room at Easton Town Hall. And I'm going to open the meeting with a roll call with everyone here. I'm Christina Refford, and I'm the chair.
Drown here.
What are we gonna do?
Carol,
I guess we'll just
is it? Yeah, when we go around the table.
Yeah.
Carolyn McCafferty here.
Amy Spencer here.
Rachel Rosen here.
All right, great. Welcome everyone to this meeting. So we're going to first go through the minutes dated May 13th. And I want to make sure everyone got the copy that I sent and ask if anyone has any questions, changes, were there any omissions, problems with it. If we're okay, if I could get a motion to accept the May 13th minutes as is.
I'll make a motion to accept.
And a second?
Second.
Rachel, great. The next item
We
on
got to
the...
vote.
Oh, we vote, sorry. Oh my gosh. So there's my last meeting. Okay, Refford, yes.
Drown, yes.
McCafferty, yes.
Spencer, yes.
Rosen, yes.
Great. The one thing that we will need to do, and I don't think we have to pick them exactly right now, but we should be sending the town our meeting dates for fiscal year 2027, which starts in July.
Yeah.
We've typically met on the third Tuesday of the month, and at 7, and usually it's Zoom. We've typically done in person in April and September, or March and September, one of those two, like somewhere around there. I know this year was weird because we wanted to meet you in person, and then we're doing this again. So, so it might be something worth voting on next meeting, you know, like when you're gonna meet, so, and then get that to the town.
When's it due to the town?
Well, usually we just like to let them know. It's not, I don't think they require it. They know that we typically meet around the third week of the month, the third Tuesday of the month. And because we meet Zoom most of the time, it's not such a huge issue if we have to change something. It's more of an issue if you want this room. Like when we met in person, it was more important because they would try to have it on the schedule.
Sure.
So, but if you know that you're going to meet, you know, we've done September because it was the month before Harvest Fair. So if we were going to do Harvest Fair in the fall, September's a good month to meet, just to kind of finalize anything that you want to do for that. And then we just pick March or April.
So I wanted to say, since the next meeting I'm the chair, I wanted to ask if people wanted to take July off and then meet only in August for the summer. And the reason I was asking that was twofold. One is because last year we didn't meet we took 1 month off, and that'll give me some time to kind of get my act together.
Yeah.
And actually, I have a concert on July meeting.
So
date
there you
anyway,
go. All right.
Okay.
So if that's the case, then we won't meet in July, and then we'll meet in August, and we could just plan on the third Tuesday in August today, which will be
the 18th.
the 18th. And then there we can just finalize out if there's any conflicts on the third Tuesdays and other times. How's that? We just vary off of that? Sound like a plan?
And would someone get in touch with Jamie Stebbins and just let him know that there will be a meeting in July?
Yep.
And maybe what the meeting is in August in case he can make it.
Okay, will do.
Okay. Committee reorganization. I didn't know if I should do this now, but I did it, and then we can send it, or I can send it into the town clerk so that they have it. But this is basically, we just have to vote on this. It's reorganizing the committee. I'm not on it anymore, but we do still have Jamie as the select board designee. I have Carolyn as the chair, and then I just listed Amy, Stephen, and Rachel as members. So if we're okay with this, can we, and I put the date on it as of July 1st, just so that I'm, you know, I'm still going to be wrapping up a couple of things. So if we're okay with this organization, could I get someone to make a motion to accept this?
Motion to accept.
And a second?
Oh, the second.
Okay, Refford, yes.
Drown, yes.
McCafferty, yes.
Spencer, yes.
Rosen, yes.
Great. Next, banning data centers in Easton. This came up because Mansfield passed an article recently, which put very strict put big restrictions on data centers in Mansfield. You guys have probably seen the news that this is a hot topic. All these big data centers, especially for AI, are being put in mostly kind of areas where there's not huge populations, where there's a lot of space. But the problem is they are water suckers and they use a ton of water. They're noisy. They make a lot of like buzzing noise for the residents around them. And so as soon as I saw that, I sent a note to Jamie and said, you know, Easton really should be on top of this as well. Not that I think we have like tons of land where I think they're going to take over, but still even a small one, or maybe at least have something that protects the people, the town. Because as you know, we're in a severe drought right now. We do not need our water going to that. So something like this could be something that the committee works with the select board with. And just anecdotally, I bumped into Jennifer Stacy, who is on the select board, coming out of town meeting. I saw her in the parking lot, and she said, "Oh, Jamie mentioned that you had emailed him about this, and I think this is important. I think we should really get on top of this." And she had some thoughts about some centers that they're building where they're trying to be more environmentally friendly. Like there are some stipulations, and there might be a case where a small one might not be a bad, like there might be some like structure that we can put on it, but it might not have to be an outright ban. So I don't really know enough about it, but she seemed to know quite a bit. And this kind of thing would require the select board to be involved. We would need their support, and I'm not sure if we would be the ones to write it. So what I would suggest is maybe getting a copy of what Mansfield passed. And then maybe later this summer or in the early fall, set up a meeting with maybe a couple of the select board people, or going to a select board meeting and bringing this up. It would have to go to town meeting, which the next one would be November. They probably would need the warrant or the article by September.
Oof.
I mean, it's usually early, unless you want to wait till next May, so it would be a town meeting kind of thing. I don't know if there's holes in Mansfield, like it's kind of like with the plastic bag, right? So when we did the plastic bag ban, I wrote to like all the surrounding towns, or I looked it up online and read all of them and figured out, like, took pieces from some and put it together. I don't think there's enough towns in Massachusetts who have done this. There's probably more than Mansfield at this point, but so it might be worthwhile to kind of look. But I think we would need someone who has the knowledge to look at something and say, because I'm sure there's a lot of technical jargon in there, and maybe one of you guys would be good for that, but I would not know the technical jargon that would be, protect us and not have loopholes in it. That would be.
So I kind of have a question, because later on we talk about meeting with Liz and Sean. Is this really something that the select board works on, or should we also be talking to the town manager?
Town administrator, Liz, I think, it's worth mentioning to Liz, but I do think it might be a select board thing. Like if you go to town meeting, they say, select board recommends, finance committee recommends. So I have a feeling it would be the select board that we would present it to. And I know that, like, with the plastic bag thing, I went to select board. I met with the health department. Of course, it was a different thing. Although that might also be a good angle, because there are certainly, you might meet with DPW about the water, stormwater, the people in charge of water. So the more people that you can get to be on board, the better, because it just makes it less likely to poke holes in it. I don't know what they say. I don't know how. I'm sure that the way they get into towns is with money. I'm sure they just promise a lot of money. So it would be good to get like shore up support for this type of thing before it becomes an issue. And again, we don't have like vast acres and acres of, I mean, we do have lots of protected, we have lots of land, but most of it's protected. We don't have a lot of like free land, I think.
Would Conservation Commission be good one too? Or?
Yeah, they would be, yeah.
Okay.
So that would be something, and again, it might be something that the town wants to take and run with, but I think that certainly maybe we start with it and maybe they'll take it. I don't know.
So, so since we're not going to meet in July, why don't we consider this being an important topic in August, and then maybe just begin by presenting to the board, like getting on their meeting in September.
Yeah.
I think trying to get a warrant together for the fall is like not
Yeah.
something we're
And
going
you
to be able to pull
you might
together.
consider inviting Jen Stacy to the meeting for
Mhm.
August, because
Okay.
she did know, I mean, she was saying something about MIT built one, but it had all this, and like, you know, there were certain usages that she was more favorable to, like medical type of stuff, but also she mentioned something about MIT and Harvard doing something, and it wasn't the blight that some of the other communities have. So she knew a lot more about it than I did.
She's very knowledgeable.
Yes.
She never answered that email you sent, did she? Or did she just answer you?
Which email?
You had sent, didn't you send her an email about the conversation you had in the parking lot?
I don't know. I have to look. Condo and parking. I don't know. I can probably look before we.
Yeah, I'll look.
Finish
I
the
think
meeting.
you did because you copied me
I might
on
have.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. To follow up.
Right.
Yeah. You're right. That was a while ago. Well, not that long ago. 'Cause the meeting was in May, but it seemed like a long time ago.
Yeah.
A lot has happened. All right. So you okay? Oh.
I wouldn't necessarily be in favor of banning
Mhm.
the data centers. And the reason why is I just read an article about in the Wall Street Journal. How Ireland has said, all right, you can come on in, but you have to have your own power.
Mhm.
You can't come onto the grid. You have to have your own on-site or very nearby
Yes.
power source.
Okay.
All right, and in regards to water, maybe we set a limit that's up here,
Yeah.
that type of thing in terms of a rate.
Mhm.
Because we know that we don't have much industry here.
Mhm.
If we can have some here, that'd be great, but at a cost to them, not to us.
I know that I read, I don't know, so sometimes you see stuff online and I don't know if it's true, but I read something about one country putting them in the ocean to try to like cool them. I was like, that
Yeah.
doesn't seem real. But
Underwater.
yeah, I mean, I think having their own power certainly, because that's what's killing people too, is their power costs are going sky high. So being able to like self-power could be a great thing that we add to any kind of restriction. I mean, I think it's good to like set up, and like even what Jennifer said, it wasn't like never, none, ever, but it was more like putting together the framework now so that we don't get caught off guard. You know, like get ahead of it before it becomes like a problem. So yeah, I think what Ireland did, especially with that, the water one, you know, the water one's tough because if the company can afford it, you know, it's
Right.
they'll pay whatever, but we only have so much
That's
water.
ours,
But-
drawing ours.
I guess what I don't understand is like, well, like, can you use gray water? Like, is it it's always drinking water? Like, why is it always like the best water
Right.
that we're using?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I think it's worth the conversation and maybe hashing out like different things and seeing what other communities are doing. You know, Steve, maybe if you that article, could you like, I don't know how we could make a copy of it, or maybe make a copy of it and pass it out, or take a photo of it and then text it to
No,
everyone.
I'll try my
I'll try to
best.
put it.
I'll try my best.
I'll try to put it as an attachment, or we'll have it as an attachment for the minutes. Or reference it, like where it came from, so that people can look for it. But also, if you see any other articles, that would be good to pull. You know, what are,
Uh-huh. it's this one. I know you got in there electronically one time and sent us something.
Yeah, when I could figure it out.
So B4, do you have B4 here? So maybe we can there are copy machines right outside here,
Okay.
so let's see if we can get a copy and then we'll scan it in.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
You guys okay if we go to the next one? Okay, the next one is about new pond pesticides and PFAS. I honestly know nothing about this. I just know what I've put down here. That apparently there is something growing in New Pond, which I believe is the thing near Ames Estates. Is that New Pond there?
New Pond is one of the ones on 106,
Yeah.
like on the way to Target.
Right,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that the smaller one or the bigger?
I think
I
it,
think.
yeah, there's two, there's the one that's like right up on.
Right, with the
road,
what,
and
with
then
the water spill
The
there.
other one's a
Another
little
one.
set.
And
One just before
Do
that.
people fish in?
Yeah,
the only thing I've heard about this is that there was a meeting where I think it was Conservation Commission, although I should be careful. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus because I'm not 100% sure. But there's something going on with New Pond with like algae or weed or something.
and that's the
And-
big one that people fish in, that's like.
Yeah, and so they're going to
You
treat.
check.
They're going to
Okay,
treat
I'm not
it,
gonna bother.
and
Yeah.
according to Kyla Bennett, the thing that they're treating it with is a PFAS. Like it's straight out a PFAS. But the presentation went the way of, I use this in my own yard kind of thing. And so I guess what I worry about is I feel this way like when they approved tearing down Center School and putting in the fields, that like because we have a water treatment facility that it's okay if we add some PFAS to the water because it'll get filtered. But the more PFAS we
Solution
put
to
in,
pollution is dilution.
Yeah,
the more you add to the
Tier,
filter,
yeah.
the more the filter will get full and then they have to pay for another filter. So there is supposed to be some other treatment. I guess what I would just like to mention this as like something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
That,
So who's doing it? Who's treating it?
1 minute, I have to look it up.
Okay.
It must be the town.
It was it's an
Yeah.
outside. Let me just see if I can find it.
I also wonder what the cause of the algae bloom is, because I know like in Sharon, there's rumor that it's from sewage.
Yep.
Drain off.
It is likely the septic systems increasing the nitrogen level because they're old and they're not up to date. I mean, you only update your septic when you sell your house.
Shouldn't we like somehow encourage them to remediate?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so unfortunately what ends up happening is the nitrates are falling through, so they've already worked their way through the
Yeah,
ground
so it's
surface, it's supposed to
Yeah.
theoretically filter it, but after a while you just can't literally filter the poop.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's ways to remit, whatever, you said that word. And, but I think it would be like flushing through the soil and a lot of different stuff. There's other treatments, so if it's manifoil, I think that's how they say it, to treat it, like they've been doing it on the Ames Long Pond, the Ames Pond,
Yeah.
because there's stuff been growing in there, but I don't think that's what they're using.
Yeah.
It's a real problem everywhere. And the other problem is that if people are fertilizing their lawns and all of that, it's all just going in there. And after a while, the solution to dilution didn't work.
Yeah.
It just builds in the sediment.
So I can't find it. I think it was a Conservation Commission meeting.
Okay.
I will try to look that up and I'll try to send it and I'll give you guys the info so you can put it in the minutes. But I think it was a Concom meeting that they had to get in front of. Pretty sure that was it. And there is some other treatment that could happen that is not a PFAS, but it might be more time consuming or expensive or something like that.
It could also be not as effective.
Mhm. Yeah, you might have to do it more often. So yes, I will follow up on that.
Can I just,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I should have thought of this before, but is anybody aware of data centers in Easton? Is that?
Oh, back to, okay, no, I'm not aware of any.
nor am I, I'm just curious.
Yeah, and
I
again,
feel like we would.
yeah, I mean, I just, the stuff I've seen is the huge scale things.
Yeah,
like
no,
the-
I know.
You know, so I just can't imagine it would be a huge deal, but, I get, as this is evolving, then I think we're just gonna try to get ahead of it. I don't know that there's anything, but I wonder, it might be worth, when you meet with Liz Dennehy, the town administrator, to ask if there's anything, because I certainly wouldn't know. I don't think anyone would come to me and tell me that there's a data center coming in, so,
Because if we don't have an ordinance for it, and let's say they take over 2 buildings in the industrial park and start to make a data center, we may not know. So the idea is to try to get ahead and get some kind of
Right.
rules on the books.
yeah,
And that's kind of what you hear in other areas, is all of a sudden something's happening that people didn't really know and
yeah.
weren't able to. Like that topic that came up at the town meeting with the childcare center. Okay.
Okay, this is just incidental. I was asked to renew the CCAP and Stormwater Committee appointments, and then was told, oh, sorry, they're no longer active. So those are, you guys are not on those committees anymore. Maybe they'll come back, but that was not, we didn't need to do that.
Good job.
Yes. Oh, Jamie!
Oh.
Come on in. We're on
Sneak this in
camera,
here.
by the way.
Oh, are we
There you
really?
go.
Yes, we're.
That's
Well,
Thank
it's
you.
fine.
Thank you, thank you.
You
Come
gonna
on
get to
in.
stay?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. All right, Jamie Stebbins here.
Yes.
All right. We're about halfway through, and they brought snacks for my goodbye. So we will, and then we'll end the meeting before we eat. So we're not eating on camera. That'll be, no one wants to see that. All right, so I was just saying that the CCAP and the Stormwater Committee, we had appointed these two, and we don't need to appoint them because they're both going dormant.
So could we just go back, since Steve brought up the data centers? And we
Yes.
talked, our topic had to do with data centers and whether we call it banning or just creating rules if a data center should come in. And our thought is that we want to first bring this to the select board and say, is this something that we want to pursue? And then if that's the case, writing ordinances and that kind of thing. Does that sound like a good way forward with something like that?
Yeah, and I think even before we get to the select board, I mean, there's probably a lot to do with what other communities have done.
Right,
So a
so-
lot of research in advance of that.
Yep. Okay, so bring them what we've learned and then
Yeah,
have a
'cause the select board
conversation.
really wants, it's like the business plan, right?
Mhm.
And then to be
Okay.
able to be pretty tightened up.
And I was saying that I bumped into Jen Stacy in the parking lot after a town meeting, and she kind of pulled me aside and said, I'm really interested in this. And she knows a lot. Like, she
Great.
definitely was like talking about like the Mansfield, what they put together, and then, you know, how she would change it and all that. So I would say maybe she'd want to come to the August meeting and just
Great resource.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and we're not meeting in July.
Okay.
Well, I'm not meeting in July either, but no, the committee is not meeting in July, sorry. Okay, update on distribution of the resource guide around town. So, it has gone, I will send you the list to everyone I sent it to. So it's gone to, the schools, it's gone to the, Langwater Farm, it's gone to the select board, it's gone to every person in town that I could think of, plus like Chamber of Commerce. And then I also sent it to Elizabeth Warren and our senators. And then I also sent it to the state senators and Congress people and Missy Hollenbach from Mass DEP. So, and we've got some decent feedback from it. I also shared it on I'm part of a Google group called, please wait, it's called, okay, wait a minute, I'll get it. It's that Mass and Environmental group. I'm just gonna, their name is long and not that exciting for me to look for. And So there's an environmental group, like a chat board. It's just a discussion board on Google Groups. And I joined it when I came on the committee. And I shared a copy of the guide and said, if you're you can use this template as a template. And I've gotten a few people back. One person from Plymouth said that he handles waste management from Plymouth. So he wanted to know if he could just lift out our waste management section and change some of it. And he said, could I even use your wording? Would you mind if I plagiarized you? And I said, no, you may plagiarize me. So, so at least it's gotten out there, and that's a pretty big group with a few hundred people in it. So that's gone out. And then also it was shared in Town Crier, which you saw. I haven't seen it yet on our Facebook page, but I'll check with Sean because I know that it'll get on there at some point. And so I think that is it for what I'm doing with the resource guide. And then I will push it on.
Right,
Like a baby
And-
bird.
Yes.
baby
Or the
bird.
nest.
And I think you and I can get in there in Canva
Yeah,
and figure it
yeah.
out, okay.
Mhm.
I was at the Ames Free Library and they had last year's copy.
Yeah, we have to make that hard copy for
So,
them.
but I was thinking, why do we have to make that copy?
Maybe.
They have the resources, you know?
Actually, we've done a pretty good job of cutting those out too.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, but
they
it costs
don't,
us $50 to go to
Oh,
school.
No,
personally.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, yeah, it's
It's not, no.
they're not gonna be able to make a copy, probably.
I can give you my copy. They were gonna put it on their computers,
Yeah.
so at least they'll.
So it's on their web page,
Mhm.
and I don't know if it's on the login computer. And what we might be able to do is just maybe do the cover, the mission-y kind of stuff in the front, the table of contents, and then here's a QR code to go further.
And you know, I wonder if someone could design like maybe a little like note, and we could stick it on the front of their copy and just say visit blah 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 for an updated
Right.
version.
Mm-hmm.
So at least that they know that like this is
That
not the
makes
end. You know,
Yeah.
just sort of because it's the same URL. It's just
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and I did send you guys the copy in case you want to share it with family and friends, right? Everyone you know.
absolutely.
Okay, so feel free. Communication and messaging, the septic message was distributed. I don't know if you saw it. It was the same message as last year, but it's up. Next topic to be posted on town Facebook page. I assume that means like the pet waste.
Yeah, I
that
just
would be
figured
the
we would
next
have that,
one.
okay.
Next is pet waste, and yeah, and I can, Carolyn, I'll put you in touch with the DPW water department, so that Greg Swan,
Okay,
and so that you will have his contact, so you can just touch base with him.
Could you also maybe have for the next thing to be posted, the non-friendly mosquito plants? We did have a section on
oh, the, what you can plant to
Deter.
deter,
that. Right,
deter.
we have a section on that.
Yeah, because we also have a lot of bee-friendly stuff we did before,
Yeah.
so,
Just a-
yeah, no, I mean, I just don't know. I think we talked about when we did our brainstorming session that Rachel let us in, that we would try to have something every month. So this has just sort of been our topics that we've been doing,
Mhm.
but maybe we could start with that. Do you have that in your files, the mosquito? Did we do mosquito one?
So I did something
Remember,
for
I know.
the health department a
Yeah.
while ago, Health and Human Services, and it's pretty much in the guide.
Mhm.
So what we could do is
Yeah, it's like pull.
pull maybe
Pull it
an
and then
image
point
from
to
the
the guide.
guide, or maybe have the guide with the mosquito on it. You know, like
Yeah.
take the cover and put a mosquito on it, and have that be the image, and then talk about the mosquito thing, and
Mhm.
say it's in the guide on page blah blah blah.
Mhm.
You know, just to make it easy.
Yeah.
Because I think we talked about using the guide as like the backbone for the messages instead of creating something new every time.
Yeah.
Maybe you just take the cover and throw like an image on it, you know,
Yeah.
so when it's dog poop, when it's dog pooping, it could be the cover with like, you know, a dog, a happy dog, not pooping, a dog. I can't believe I said that on TV. Anyway, And then you can just tell people what page to go to, because it's
Yep.
all in the guide, that whole
Mhm,
section's
right.
in there.
Okay,
All right,
do you think you can do that? Okay, thanks. And then I'll work with you on the side.
and I'm still here till the 30th of June, so.
And
We should have one more
And
case.
then
Yeah,
after
she knows
that,
where I live,
she'll
yeah.
still be on my speed dial.
Yes, yeah. Scheduling a meeting with Liz Dennehy, Town Administrator, Sean Duggan, Deputy Town Administrator. That is you guys, so.
Yeah, so the reason why Christine is doing this is because I actually did the agenda.
Yes,
And
oh yes,
use
you
the
did do the agenda.
format.
I'm so sorry, she did do it. Yes.
So some of this stuff was things I sent, and then she sent it in because I was on my way to Maine. So we talked about last month about meeting with Liz and then Sean, and then we can get with Elizabeth to do it. So I thought that, summer's really hard to do. But maybe we could just think about what types of topics we want to talk to Liz about, other than just introducing. And then I know it's long days here, and I imagine starting a new position that makes it longer days. Are people available Monday evenings? Because doesn't the town administrator work Monday? And I know Sean works, right? Everybody does. So as long as it's not a select board day, that maybe what we could do is set up a meeting on a Monday evening. And then we could all just, do an office call is what we would call it.
Yep, just the Monday prior to select board meetings is the planning meetings.
Uh-huh.
So they're usually wrapped up for a few hours. So, and now they used to be, so that would be every week, but now we're on a 3-week rotation, so there should be a week.
So it should be one.
Or I don't know if it's an option for people during the day, like I could meet earlier.
That would be easier for them than
Yeah.
on a Monday night, because
Yeah.
Monday night they're usually slamming and everything, like you said.
Yeah.
Meetings where people can't get to. But
Yeah.
But I would still, whether you want me to talk to Sean, we can get all the times that are options,
Mhm.
and then you guys can decide what works best.
Yeah. I mean, do you telework sometimes that you could sneak away, or?
Probably with advance notice I can figure something out.
Uh-huh. And then you're retired like me, so.
Mine's even.
Other than
Always
Monday for the kids, yeah, so, okay, maybe if you could, would you be willing to go ahead and talk to Sean and see if we can find some dates, and then, we're thinking probably August, because that'll give us July by email to figure out what we want to say.
Is
and
this
do.
something where you want to designate 2 people to meet with him to avoid a quorum?
Yeah, I was gonna ask
Oh.
that about the quorum thing, because it would have to be either
Or be
filmed
totally
or
introductory?
it'd have to
where
be
it's just-
public, if you're gonna
It-
discuss.
It can be just introductions and everybody,
Yeah.
but I think that's probably not a great use of all of your guys' time versus
Yeah,
if you want to go over a few things, especially to get Sean would be a great resource along with Jen on how we want to try to bring some policy together, because that's ultimately what the select board's going to want on data centers and things like that. So yeah, just decide, but I'll talk to Sean about
okay,
dates in general.
all right, and then maybe what we could do, and then we can see if that's the case and decide who will pass.
Yeah.
Maybe there's just enough conflicts to make it work, so we just need to be short one person.
Are we talking about separate meetings with Liz and then with Sean, or combo?
No, I think combo, right?
If it's possible to do both at the same time.
And then we can just only have 2 from us, right?
If you don't want to make it a
two.
meeting
Yeah.
where they're
Okay. Okay, so Jamie will find some dates, and then we'll take it from there.
great.
Okay, great, so just letting you know. All right, so we would talk about the data centers, some of it's just giving information, so Liz hears from us that we've got this guide. Did you send it to her?
Yes.
Okay, and then, and I think, for me, I think it's important to understand we're small and mighty, but there's just so many rocks we can pick up and move because we don't have a budget, and, we're small. So, where we focus our time on and maybe where our priorities might be, from when we did our brainstorming.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have an expectation, I mean, I know she came from Plimpton. So not a big town, but as we've learned, some towns' environmental groups are big and budgeted, and
she has a lot of big town experience with
Yeah.
Fall River and with it's either Fall River or New Bedford, and then with Walpole.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
so I think that's important to kind of right-size us.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure she's been right-sized with our budget. So that was my only other thing, is our capacity, you know.
Jamie, I have a question kind of related to this, but I remember when Connor was here, he handled a lot of the grants. Like he was always on the lookout for grants and he did a lot of that. Is Liz still doing that? Or, because I wonder if it would be great, you know, for some of our money troubles. Like if we could get a grant to publish the guide in a booklet or something like that. Because I saw the town just did got a grant for trees. Was it trees? They published it on Facebook. It was like a guidebook for, and I don't know if it's a hardcover or what, but it was like, I can look at it on our Facebook page, the town Facebook page. But it had to do with, let me see.
It's definitely a big focus for Liz and the team, and there will be, you know, a lot of people do the grant writing now. It's left to, you know, like Greg Swan does a lot of grant writing for
Yeah.
DPW.
So it said, it's a conservation commission, I guess. So tree guides for homeowners. The town of Easton developed a guide using grant funding to help residents care for their trees and reduce storm hazards, prevent power outages, and strengthen local climate resilience. Visit the town's conservation commission webpage to download your tree guide. So they use
Yeah.
grants. So I think that if we could kind of keep an eye open for that sort of thing,
I wonder who wrote that one, if it was someone non-Concom that did it, or
if they hired somebody. I don't know. It's a similar like URL kind of thing. Let me see if I can find, although it goes. Get your free tree guide. Oh, they also got funding to help pay for tree management or something like that. There's a grant that they got. So maybe the guide was part of it, or maybe the guide was separate from it. But so it is a document on demand, it says. So under documents, I'd be curious to find out, like if it's a document on demand, can we put ours document? I don't know if anyone goes to that, but just something to look
Where is
into.
document, is it one of those
Well,
things that
like-
you flip the pages like the one that we were looking at?
Well, document on demand is
through the town website, right?
town website.
And
Yeah, it's like
we
that.
should be able
minutes.
to put the resource guide in there.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be worth it, but I mean, I guess.
We like it on our page, but it's always good to put things in multiple places.
More place, yeah.
It's
So
where
like
we
here,
point everyone to is to the
you see how it says documents on demand there?
documents.
Oh, yeah.
And I agree, a lot of people don't go in there because it's such a
It's huge,
so much in there.
but it doesn't hurt to have it in two places.
Yeah, just something to think about. And
Well,
like-
then it's always accessible if you just want to point someone to somewhere. You can.
And the grant things has always been kind of a difficult thing, only because I don't have any experience in grants, and so I wouldn't even know where to start. And I know that some of the stuff requires, you know, someone from the town to fill out all the paperwork, because a lot of it's going to be like, you know, numbers and things that we don't really have access to. So,
So does anyone else have any other things they can think of that they might want Liz and Sean to know about from us?
I did chat with the folks from Black Earth.
Uh-huh.
So I have some notes I could share about that. There are some interesting ideas around citywide collection, having central drop-offs, like a transfer station type thing. And actually, along the lines of grants, the town would get money back from that. So there are incentives, I think, to basically have these. An opportunity could be like at a school having a central drop-off. We would just need to figure out about a school contact and moving forward with that. And apparently right now they do have 4 commercial accounts, which Chipotle, Farmer's Daughter, Friends Crossing, and I forget if they have the 4th one, but there's also some raised bed promotions that could be done for kids, like in the school. So if we were interested in that, that's something we could dig into more to find out
No
more
pun
information.
intended. Yeah, it sounds like new stuff since we met with them like what, almost 2
While
years ago.
yeah.
And I do have a brochure I can pass along that we sent to.
Okay.
They've brought on more investors. They've gotten, they've continued to grow.
So if you could put those notes together and then we'll just use it as like an attachment and then maybe that's something that we could share with us. Because we've been so focused on trying to find a place to do leaf waste and that kind of thing, which is a problem because we need a site. But if we can be tapping more into their resources, but before we were just trying to get people to sign up because more people sign up, the lower the price gets.
But yeah, if we could have a centralized drop off that's essentially paid for by the incentives, that would be pretty compelling. And for those who are motivated enough, they could bring their compost.
Yeah.
That'd be great for like apartment dwellers and things like that who can't put the backyard.
Right, which might be what they're doing with that one. You said one of them
Yeah,
sounded like a
Friends
condo.
Crossing.
Friends Crossing is a condo complex.
Yeah.
I know the president there is really super gung ho and stuff like that. Okay, so I put that underneath, so we could put that in there and then send me the notes and then I'll add that to pertinent items not anticipated by the chair kind of thing.
Sounds great.
Just to piggyback on that, I did get with Kate at Langwater and you saw her response back. So they'd love to support a compost workshop, but they don't really have time. So they would just send somebody to talk about it. So we could either see if we want to do something at Quissit or we want to do something at Approach NRT and see if they want to do something. But she was really jazzed about it. I ran into her a couple days later and, she said it would be great. It's hard. This is their first summer where it's really been hard for them to get personnel to work in the fields. So they're really tight. So if we wanted to get a workshop in, then, your compost, you could run it until it freezes and then it doesn't really do much, but I don't think it really hurts to do it later if we want. What do you think? Should we still go for a workshop?
I think it can still have merit and the fall's a great time, obviously, for composting as well.
Yeah, and doing like even just basic leaf composting is good. Okay, so maybe we
And
can.
I thought the guy at Black Earth said that Robin Haverly, who's the contact here for bins, and she used to be on the committee, would be probably fine to speak for them, like how their program works.
And I can't remember if I was introed to her. I don't remember, but if so, maybe I can get connected.
Yeah, she's very nice. I can help you with that.
Okay, so where do you think we'd want to try to do it? NRT seems like they're trying to do a lot of different stuff now. It kind of fits with what they do.
Yeah, seems like.
NRT could be good because they have that one like little barn area, so if it was, you could go inside.
Yeah.
And then maybe have some stuff outside,
Yeah,
that might
okay.
be.
So.
Queeset also has that outside area, but I think of it more like for like a tea or like a wedding or something, like maybe not compost.
Do you want to try to see if you can find someone at NRT?
I can reach out to them.
Okay. And then I'll do the coordination because it would really still be good to get Langwater to be there to talk through it. So it was other experts and then Robin as the Black Earth person. Okay, and we'll shoot for something in the fall.
Yeah, the NRT would be packed right now anyway, busy with summer camp.
Yeah. So
they would
so I think after the summer camps and before the fair.
That's
So
right.
September.
Yeah.
And I know they have a ton of really great events that for members and non-members that are probably like akin to some of that stuff.
Yeah,
So I
like
feel
we could
it would be
piggyback on
nice
something they're
to-
doing. I think so. They're doing a lot more than they in the past, or maybe just because I started following them on Facebook. Okay, that went into the other items as whatever that topic is. So did we make it to the end?
We did, and it's 7:44.
Are there any other items to talk about that we didn't anticipate?
No.
I'll just say I'm gonna pass on anything I find, like logos or whatever. And like I said, I'm still here till the 30th, so if you think of something, and I'm still here after the 30th, it's not like I disappeared, I'm not moving. But just thank you guys, I've very much enjoyed having this team together. It's been a good several years, a little rocky every now and then, but you know, it's been great. So if I could get someone,
Just before you do, I'll
Oh,
just
okay.
put it on record, our thank you to you and the community's thank you. And really, Christina, can't say enough for not just your sacrifice, your family's sacrifice. You've made the community a better place for all of us. And it's going to continue to get better because of a lot of the work that you did, especially early on. And you've been doing this a long time. You've had a really, prior to taking on the role as chair, and then you did that with incredible leadership and took it, I think, to another level, especially as we diverged from what the original mission was. And as the DPW kind of broke off and handled part of it, it was having to reinvent this and still make it meaningful. And I think you went well above and beyond and made it much more than meaningful. You've made this something that's a living, breathing thing for this entire community to embrace and for all of us to be able to carry on in your legacy. So thank you very, very much.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cry.
Well,
Thank you, guys. All right, well, with that, it is time for us to have snacks, and we're not doing that on
So
camera.
I'm gonna motion that we close the meeting, come to adjourn.
second the
46.
motion.
And Amy seconds.
All right,
And,
Refford, yes?
Brown, yes.
McCafferty, yes.
Stebbins, yes.
Spencer, yes.
All right, I'm gonna push the button. All right,